All right. Well, hi, everybody. And like I said, today is a special day. We're doing a healing circle. And I know that energy can heal because I have used energy before to heal different parts of things inside of me that needed to be healed, emotional situations, trauma, physical healing. The thing that I like about applying energy to a healing circle is that we think we know what needs to be healed, but energy will go right to it. Like our mind doesn't, I don't need to say, well, send this energy to my, my elbow or whatever, thing or situation that you're dealing with for healing. The energy already knows and it will go right to it. So that's what we're going to bring forward today. And before we get started, I'd like to just do a little I get healing on the mind, a little breathing, a little centering exercise. So if you'd like to just close your eyes for a minute along with me, I'm going to do that now. So I'll just start with a couple of nice, deep, relaxing breaths. And let it all go. And just breathe in gratitude and breathe in whatever gratitude brings forth to you or means to you or for you. I'd like you to breathe that in now. And release. On our next breath, I'd like you to bring in presence in the present moment, to set aside anything you were thinking about or wondering about or working on. Set that outside the circle now and take a deep breath to just bring presence of your body, mind, and spirit to this exact moment in time. So do that breath and let it go. And as you continue to breathe in your own way, I'd like you to see a circle, a gold energy, a band of energy going around our circle today, our inner circle for sacred synchronicity. Just see it going around each of us, wherever we are located. Miles make no difference with energy. And just see this band of gold going around all of us. And inside of this circle, we are creating a bond. We're creating an opportunity. We're creating an intention for healing. And inside of this circle, we are getting what we need so that we can send that out to the world because the world needs healing. So as you bask in the beautiful energy of each of the people that are here today and the ones that would like to be here, just bring to your mind, your forefront of your mind, your heart, your soul, where you could use extra healing. Whatever that looks like, healing to your physical body, healing to your spirit, healing to your environment, healing to your loved ones. And as we focus on that for a moment, inside of our circle, anything that is less than absolute Christ perfection, absolute highest consciousness, highest and best vibration. See that anything that is less than that is being transmuted into unconditional love. And let it go. Let go of what no longer serves you. And transmute it into unconditional love. That may be people, relationships, family members, dis-ease, financial blocks, anything. Let it go. Let it go. Don't hold on to anything today. This is our time to release and transcend and transmute. And so it is. And take a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Ooh, I didn't look at who was coming in. More people waiting. Hi, everybody. We were doing a centering exercise, so I had my eyes closed. So if you were waiting in the green room, as they call it, I'm sorry that you had to wait, but I'm sure you felt that energy because we were stirring it up in here. So welcome, Ronnie. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to our circle today, our energy circle for divine healing. And we're so grateful that you're here. And so let's take a moment. You know, one of the things I was reading about the power of 8.
Yeah.
The power of 8. And of course, I forgot her name. Tell me, Ron.
Oh, McTaggart. Lynn
McTaggart, yes. And what a brilliant lady she is. So she says that when in her circles that she calls the power of 8, that you set an intention. And so I believe that that's where we'll start today. So I'd like to just give you a moment to write down, if you'd like, or think about whatever serves you, an intention that you would like. And it could be benefiting you. It can benefit you and others, can benefit the world. And so just take a minute and I'll give you that. While you're doing that, I'm going to draw a few cards for our circle today with the energy of who's here. And then we'll chat for a moment in just a second. So go ahead and write that down. Intention. While you're creating and writing, I wanted to just put Anne Puglisi in our circle today. She fell in the bathtub, hit her head, and had to have some, I think she hit her eye, from what I could tell, and had to have some work, stitches, etc., I think. And she also had COVID at the same time. So this was definitely, yeah, David. Put her in our healing circle. Tony Schumann wanted to be here and wants the recording. Hi, Tony. We'll put you in our circle too. And Carrie is on the way. We'll put Carrie in our circle. So. Oh, hell, put us all in the circle. Okay. We need to put a lot of people there. We need to expand the boundaries of our circle. How about the Ukrainian people? Come on over. Everybody. Yeah, send it out. So this is the first card that I drew today. It's called the World. So that makes perfect sense. And it shows this being standing out, looking at the planet. And for me, this is my message to see a greater picture, not just me and my little, space and time, but the world is to project that out, see beyond my world, my immediate circumstances. Does that fit for anybody else? Yeah. I think that applies for our group today. And then I drew Angel of Strength. I know there's kind of a glare. Love the Angel of Strength because there's a lion and I'm a Leo, so I love the lion. And this is always, my card that says, okay, Jan, get out there. Don't shrink. Keep going. You can do it. And speaking of strength, I signed up at Define Fitness yesterday for personal trainer, hunky looking, strong men 3 times a week for 6 months. I'll show you my muscle later. But this is part of, I think the Angel of Strength wants me to get stronger. And what I was telling a friend, like anything that we want to do in the world takes our body, we don't have this body, no body. So getting strong. And I had gone a year ago. They do a fitness test where you step on a machine and it evaluates, your body composition, which I really thought was brilliant. But it did motivate me to go back after I did it last year. So here I am, I'm going back. And so things decreased, like, okay, I get the message, it's just this much, but that's all it takes. So Angel of Strength, she's here today. Strength of body, mind, and soul. Anybody else looking for strength? Could use some Angel of Strength. Well, come join me at Define Fitness.
Well, do you mind if I jump in here?
I would love it.
So strength could also, it could be muscular, but it could also be internal strength, right? So for me, I run a group 3 Tuesday nights a month, and everyone's all happy in the group, and then there's the dissenter. So I need internal strength because I'm going to have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to it being over. So I need strength for that, for sure.
Yeah, baby. You gotta show extra love. I think that anybody that, when I've had that happening, I was letting somebody else in. When I've had that happening in the past, I remember somebody, or I read it somewhere, that everybody is either giving love or a cry for love. And so somebody's lashing out or acting out or whatever, dissenting, as you said, is probably a cry for love in there. So Barbara Dixon, welcome. I don't know you. Do I? Do I know you from the past?
Oh, I've seen you once when you were visiting on the lab, on the Janet Atwood's lab call.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Discussion test group. There you go. There you go.
I'm late.
No problem. We're just, I drew some cards for today. We're writing our intention for healing today. That's our focus. And so just drew some cards. We have the world card, you know, seeing the world in a bigger way. We have the angel of strength. We were just talking about, you know, it can be muscular strength, physical strength, inner strength, certainly spiritual strength. And patience is the third card I drew. This is a really beautiful angel who's very shiny and has lots of glowing, but she's holding right here in her solar plexus a clock. You know, I never noticed that. I just tuned into that. It's a clock. So the message is patience, is that, you know, it's not my strong suit, patience, you know, but I want it to be on my time, right? Not God's time, not my daughter's time. You know, it's not like the world's time, but patience. So anybody else want more patience?
Oh.
Yeah, there's David. All right, so we're going to do just, I want to talk about healing for a moment and get anybody to share, anybody that would like to share their intention, that's fine. Or if you want to just share what drew you to be with our circle today, or if there's a particular ask or request, you know, for healing. I've already put a couple people in the middle of our circle. So
I have, I'm willing to just kind of just be here to listen and be here for everybody, but I have a foot problem, standing and walking. I mean, I can stand and I can walk, but I have a lot of, I have nerve pain there, so I need to stay off my feet, but any little help would be useful.
Okay.
I would love to put my brother Dan in here. He lost his daughter, their only daughter, a week ago. She'd been in a coma for about 8 months, been kept alive on life support. So they took her off life support a week ago, and she made the jump. But anyway, Dan's just turned 80, and it's losing his own daughter. He's not in very good health. He just fell in the bathroom 2 days ago, and he's in the hospital again. May have had a stroke. They haven't determined yet. He's really, really weak, and I'm just concerned that he may, you know, losing Christine could be his physical body is extremely weak. So I just throw him in the circle and surround him with the angels of, because he's going through a big grieving process, and I don't know if his physical body's going to be strong enough for him to deal with all this energy of loss and grief coming through. So, and then also they found the Christine's 2 daughters and then the 6 grandchildren that are they have to grieve and move through without a mother and a grandmother as well. So I would love to have them thrown into the circle.
Angel of strength, David. And just
Yep, it is. Yep.
Let's bring this angel forward. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate
it. Today is my first cousin's interim with her family and her daughters. she was killed in a sudden car accident, not her fault at all. And they had a celebration of life, but the daughters are still struggling with the loss of their mother prematurely. And so I think of them today.
Definitely. Angel of strength. You know, Abraham, anybody follow Abraham a little bit? I used to quite a bit, not so much lately, but always said, you know, what are y'all so worried about dying? It's so much better over there. You know, and you got to remember, you know, I know when my husband died and, you know, I'm all distraught and I was laying down, you know, resting, and I got this image. He used to be in the TM community for many, many years. He initiated over 1,000 people into transcendental meditation. And anyway, so I was resting, and I was kind of like in that little twilight zone where theta, I guess, whatever. And I get pictures during that, and a vision of Maharishi came up, and that I did not go to TM, so I wasn't, you know, a follower of that, but I knew who he is because I've seen pictures. I'm like, why is Maharishi here? You know, that was my first thought for me. And then Alan, my husband's face pops up, and he looks like he's like a knockout 18-year-old kid, you know, he's so handsome. And I'm like, and he just smiling, being to me, and I'm like, of course you're with Maharishi. You know, I'm like, you know, of course. And then we used to have a walking path in our neighborhood on the arroyo that I walked. So that was kind of my processing of grief. Well, I just started calling in Alan. So I talked to Alan on those walks every single day. And I'm kind of like, well, are you with Maharishi right now? Or what are you doing? You know? And he said, you know, Maharishi was there waiting for me with open arms. And I was so broken. And he made me whole. So, you know, it's just the whole grieving process is for us. And just remember, I just had to remember Alan was smiling. He wasn't over there, you know, he dropped that body that wasn't working anymore. And he was on to his next soul's purpose. And that's really why he went when he did. So, and the grieving is hard, you know, I will admit, lots of grieving, still grieving. I had another round of it. It'll be 5 years in August, and I'm still have bouts of it, you know, it just pops up. Carrie Bell is in the house.
Hello.
Carrie, just settle in. We're kind of sharing our intentions for healing today.
Okay.
And anybody else like to share something? We've had quite a few people who've lost, you know, loved ones, and families are grieving. We have some healing, physical healing happening. Well, I wrote down, here's my intention for healing today. I really got a strong message. It's time to write the Sacred Synchronicity book. And I had an Akashic record reading last week. And the only thing that was on the table was write that book now. And it's already been written. I just need to put it on paper.
Usually how it works.
Yeah. So, I'm loose as a goose. It's hard for me to focus these days, or any day. But I do have a little structure created. I'm in a writing retreat this weekend, and I'm going to use that to prompt my writing efforts. So that's my healing. I want to heal the whatever stands in my way from just sitting down and letting this flow, because it's so joyful when I do.
And have you tried narrating?
No, good idea.
So what type of phone do you have?
Pixel.
Pixel? There's an app called otter.ai. It's free.
Okay.
And it's probably the best transcription app that I've used.
Okay.
And they have a paid business package, but for you or I doing this type of thing, it works really well.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you can generate more than 600 minutes of audio in a month, it's free. So that's a lot of pages.
Okay.
And it links with a portal that you set up on a website, and you just dump your thoughts to your phone, and it pops up on the screen and cut and paste into Word, and you're 90% done.
Sweet.
And what was it called?
Otter, like the animal, OTTER.
Just otter.com?
It's actually otter.ai.
AI. Okay.
I wanted to also point out about the healing, since that's our topic today, that it's already happening. It's in the circle. Like, it's not like, oh, we do this and then the healing will, and the energy. The energy is already working. Got you here.
Can I say something, Jan, about just what you were talking about a few minutes ago? A long time ago, I had an uncle. We didn't hear anything about him, and nobody heard that he was sick or anything. And one night I dreamed that I was there with him and grandma, his mom, was coming towards him and another relative, and we were just kind of meeting there together. It's kind of like a big place, like a train station or something. And the next day I found out he had died that night, but he didn't tell anyone. He didn't want anyone to know he was sick. Mm-hmm. So I felt like, and I had gone to visit him, maybe a few months early, but I feel like he just kind of came to say goodbye. And I had another dream like that about another aunt, a little bit similar to that, but different, when she, had a surgery and died, but we didn't know about it. So I don't know. I thought that was, maybe it might be in a way.
Do you ever talk to people on the other side?
No. But as far as, I do have a good feeling about it, because after my dad passed, let's see, it was Wednesday, it was, I don't know, about a week later, I was just sitting on the couch and I felt like this, like just soft. And I was like, wow, okay. And then immediately I have a messy place, and I had artwork kind of rolled up and sitting on the couch. It had been there for months. It had never moved. And I was sitting where I always sit. And as soon as after I felt that, it rolled down into my lap. And I was like, oh, this thing. And I opened it and I thought, gosh, I haven't looked at this in a long time. And I really love it. And my dad was an artist. I thought, I never showed him this. I wish I had, because it was a new style. And anyway, I feel like that was him touching me and rolling that thing down. And then at another time, just a few days after he passed, I had stayed awake for a real long time. And I was, I guess I was suffering. And that was probably my worst moment. And I was in bed, and then there was a party next door. It was horrible loud. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh, I don't need this. I haven't slept for 3 days. And then it was dark. And then it was like at the foot of my bed, sort of a sensation of in front of me. And I was like, I just felt like he was there. I heard myself go, Daddy, like in the inside, like, you. I recognize you, but there was no sound and no smell and no vision. And then I got up to write about it, because I thought, I need to know exactly how this feels because I have to tell people. So I got up, I got paper, and I just wrote, it was the calmest, sweetest feeling I ever had. Then he was gone, or, whatever. I never experienced anything again. But that gave me a sense of, it felt really good to be him or something. I don't know. So I don't really have any opinions about that. So it's a mystery.
Well, yeah, right after somebody passes, there's more interaction, more, closer. It's more, there's more awareness of it.
Yeah.
And then over time, it gets less and less. However, like you just said, oh, daddy, try that every once in a while. Just go, oh, daddy, are you here? See what happens. When I want to talk to Alan, I go, Alan, are you here? He goes, yes, little bird. He calls me little bird.
Aww.
He used to sing a song about a little bird, and he loved to feed the birds. But and my mom's the same way. Sometimes I'm like, I need to call mom. Yeah, because how you get used to calling your mom, and I need to call mom. I go, Mom, hi, I'm calling you. So things like that. So you can, I think your dad is very close by in spirit to you.
I hope so. Thank you.
I sense so.
Cool. Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Here's Jan. Jan would like to meet you.
He's going, finally, somebody's getting her to pay attention. Okay.
Yeah, other wonderful people. Yeah,
sweet. We'll sit in silence and let the energy move, or you can speak if you feel drawn.
So intention for healing. For me, this has been going on for quite a while. And I've been actually working on defining and having sort of a clear sense of it. The ultimate would be, well, this is the tricky part, is on one level, it's clarity, in a sense about what's coming next. And the one direction is just saying, complete health and vitality in all areas of my life. And in terms of the 3 or 4 key health issues that I've got. And there's some sense that maybe that is, in a sense, going in the wrong direction. That kind of where the clarity comes in is maybe I should just be letting go of all of that and just being with whatever happens next, and not keep pursuing this, because I've gone in and out of so many different situations where I try this, it didn't work. I get my hopes up about this or something and it didn't work. So I'm kind of in that quandary, but at the same time, where the intention is going in a sense on its own, is I have an opportunity at this stage of seeing the doctor who is the personal physician of the Dalai Lama and is basically under the Dalai Lama's instruction. And this gentleman, doctor, has a huge sort of reputation of getting to the heart and the cause. And so at the same time that I might be letting go, there are still these opportunities coming up for me to be, checking out and see where they're going. So that's kind of where I'm at in my overall intention and progress, is to either have the health things resolved or have the clarity that nothing, and it's hard to say it this way, that things aren't going to get resolved on that level. And it's time for me to be prepared to move on to what's next.
It's true for all of us, Carrie. I mean, those words apply to everything you're thinking about lately.
Yeah.
It's funny because this walking thing that I have, it's, I don't think of myself as, I don't want to think of myself as like not really being able to get around. And so I kind of haven't, and it's just happened really, really slowly over many, many years, although there was an injury at one point, which was in that spot, which was bad. But it's like, sometimes I'm thinking, well, I need a wheelchair and I can't go out of my house unless I just get right into a taxi and then dropped off right to a door. I'm like, that, I'll never take a walk again. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound good. I'm not upset about it. It's sort of like, that sounds kind of like I'm crippled. And I'm thinking, well, that's not my identity. That's not what I'm used to. And so I think I kind of let this go on way too long. I didn't really know how bad it was or actually what it was. I couldn't tell. And so I just think it's interesting. There's things that happen like so quickly, and there's a certain kind of adjustment that has to take place, a certain kind of suffering that takes place. And there's things that can happen so slowly, you don't know they're happening, and maybe you're kind of complicit in their happening. You have excuses, you have misunderstandings, you have all your stuff. And then it's stretched out over such a long period of time. And then at some point you have to, because I was thinking too, you have to make a realization, you have to make an assessment, say, this really is a new thing, a new person, a new life of what I am, and how would be the best way I could go about that. Instead of thinking, well, I'm sure, I'm sure it's going to go away. I'm sure it's going to be fixed next year. And I was sure if I stayed off my feet, it would go away. Shouldn't end up being true, and had some things done that kind of made it worse. But I just kind of in la la land, it'll just heal because I believe in healing. And that's not always true either. But certainly, there can be a good life. It's a different kind of life. I study a lot. I learn a lot, and I do classes like this. It's been a very important time, and COVID wasn't even hard for me. I'm like, what? I'm always just home and being in, can't go out and do things. So I had less suffering than everyone else did during this time, because if their life was really great, they would have really suffered from not having all these connections and good things they were feeling, particularly if you didn't have someone living at home with you who you were, already with. So anyway, it's just, that might be something I need to do myself, and it'll just be interesting. But I have creativity, and I have options and possibilities, and to be a person I never was, and to use talents I never used, or strengths or skills or effort. which can be, which can be good for me. So I'll just see how that works out. Sorry, I talked a long time.
No, that you're speaking for all of us. It's, may come through your lips, but it's from our collective hearts and souls. So
what I will say is I identify with your talking about being able to walk around, because that's also what I've got. Is any kind, I'm mobile. I don't need a wheelchair or a walker, but anytime that I'm walking for more than 3 or 4 minutes, I want to have something that I can sit down on and rest.
Yeah.
And I won't go into more detail, but I identify with that issue. That's been my main issue for the last 12 years.
Oh, well, we're very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was considering what you were both saying, and in my own life right now, where to have the energy come from within and where to go seek it out from outside. And I pulled a card that was about active versus passive, and know when to actively seek assistance, know when to listen and heed your own inner guidance. I think that somewhat relates to both these kind of questions you've been having. And in my life, I'm really got this external motivation through my son's wedding and convocation coming up in first week of June, but at the same time, trying to keep my energy. I get tired like Carrie does because of the chemo still acting in my body, but hoping that there's a new something they might offer me, but then not going passive, because I have what has kept me going this long has been internal energy, internal helping other people, internal appreciations, and not just something that is toxin that's also fighting the cancer itself. So I really appreciate both you sharing, and I think it relative. Yeah.
Thank you.
Robert, your crown chakra has a light on the ceiling. It's coming from the top of your
head. If I slide over here, I look a little more angelic.
Yeah, there you go.
I got to work on my lighting. Now, I wanted to share something, because I'm probably the last person on the planet that has any spiritual inclinings that has never tried meditation. I know, Jan, you mentioned that your husband was big into TM. And about a month ago, I saw that there was an intro to meditation class near my house. So I figured I'll stop in and just kind of see what this is all about. And it was, an hour of going through different types of meditation, and, it was relaxing, and I didn't think too much of it. It's like, okay, this is a silent meditation. This is a guided meditation. This is a walking meditation. And it was like, okay, this is very relaxing, not noticing anything. The last one, the instructor says, okay, this is a chanting meditation, and you're never going to see these people again. So try not to be shy doing it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I started doing this thing and immediately noticed that I was vibrating. And it got so loud that the instructor could hear it. And I'm like, it was just because of the acoustics of the room. And I felt amazing after doing that. And I'm thinking, okay, this is interesting. I wonder if it was just the setting or whatever. And I've done it pretty much every day since, and it has the same effects. Now, I don't know if this is something that you kind of have to experiment with it to see if it works for you, but it really kind of just kind of tied a whole bunch of stuff together in terms of sound healing, and thinking about how some of the ancient peoples used language a certain way in chanting. And what what I found, I tried to explain this to a couple of people, but if you can hum to the point that you feel parts of yourself vibrating, you can probably do this. So, and I find it to be a huge source of energy. And so, if you're looking for, in Joanne's case, looking for an additional source of energy, that might be it. And I find that it takes 3 to 4 minutes tops to do it. And if I can get to the point where I can feel either the energy in my hands or my chest or whatever, it's good for the whole day. It's kind of like plugging yourself into an energy source. So, I think that's something that's available to all of us. I don't know, Jan, if Alan had similar experiences with his meditation, but I always just thought it was very relaxing, but this is something completely different. So there's definitely another level to this that people can tap into. And especially if you're looking for additional healing, I really think this is kind of what it's supposed to be. I think, a lot of the prayers and stuff, originally it was around the language. There's certain sounds that we make that resonate with us. And I think a lot of that has gotten lost with all the translations to, for those of us that speak English. I think if we knew what the original words were, it actually might have more impact on us when we said them. So just something to think about.
Yeah, it reminded me of an article. I think it was an article I was reading about how healing music is.
Yeah.
And singing is very healing. And not everybody will sing because they think they can't sing, but everybody can hum.
Yes.
Anyone can hum and sound good. So I love what you're saying here. Let's try it. I think we should hum. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's unmute.
What will we hum?
Let's let Robert lead us in a hum.
Oh my God. So
I'll do it if you don't want to.
No, I can, but there's actually a meditation that I listen to on YouTube that has the right sounds. Mm-hmm. And it is called let's see, Ramadasa. It's by a song by, I was just looking for it.
Okay.
And
we can just hum. I'll lead us in a hum. We don't have to. We can look that up later, but
I found it. So
it's kind of like chanting. I was like, when I do the work in the Atlantean Healing Temple, sometimes I'm told to use my voice. So for some of you that don't know, I have a past memory that has returned of where I was doing healing work in Atlantis. And when I worked with
the right protein.
Anyway, when I'm working with somebody and I see the Atlantean temple show up, I know I'm supposed to bring them in it. And then when I'm guided to do toning, my first thought is, oh no, I won't be able to. So, the only thing that I just have to get myself out of the way and open the mouth, and it just happens. So I'm happy to open my mouth today. Mm-hmm. All right. So, everybody ready to hum? Mm-hmm.
Hold your puppy.
Oh, she thought I was calling her husband. Yeah. That is very peaceful. I love that suggestion.
Try listening to the video.
I will.
It's 13 minutes long. I find that it usually takes me about 3 minutes of doing it before I start to feel anything. I've had other people have tried it and they're like, nope, don't get it. But I think if you can, the humming, if you can hum to the point that you feel a vibration and try different frequencies, that's kind of the key for this to work. Because if I just do the chanting without getting the vibration, it does nothing. So
nice.
I'm still trying to figure this out, having just had it happen for me. So
well, it must be working because your light is shining.
Yeah.
That's great.
So FYI, I did a Divine Dog Wisdom cards, and I got choice. Get off the fence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or so choose.
So that fits with what I had initially wrote down, Carrie, which is to have the energy so that my life force would help me love my choices. I used to do a lot of sounding with the resonance, and resonance is what I hear Robert saying, and it went like the resonance in the bones of your body. Ooh, I am, and it just could go on with all of them for a long time because it wasn't taking breath at all. It was just resonating. And when you do any of those, you get into vibration feelings in your body. Yeah. I think that's what you were tapping into.
Yeah. And it doesn't, like, when you do it, I don't necessarily feel it because I'm not the one that's making the sound.
No.
Yeah, you kind of have to do it for yourself. I mean, you can tap into it to a certain extent from external sources, but I think it has to be internal.
Well, that's true. But one time in my life when I had extreme vomiting for 5 days from molars being taken out in an allergy to the anesthetic, I listened to this tape by professionals resonating these sounds for 5 days, and it helped me through all that pain.
Sure.
And I couldn't sing at all at that time.
It makes perfect sense. I mean,
so it depends. Yeah.
A friend of mine that has chronic pain uses that. He was told, a nurse told him about it actually. So yeah. Bye, Ronnie. All right, well, let's just close our circle today with a little quiet meditation. But I'd like you to just notice before we close our eyes for that, or as you close your eyes, if you feel different from when you came. And as you notice how you were before the call and where you are to now, notice that even a small increase is a huge increase. And just let your thought be on that multiplying. Wherever you went from in the last hour to where you are now, let that continue to multiply and multiply. And before you send all of that out to the world, fill your cup first. We're all want to serve, but we can't serve unless our cup is full. I just want to say that. And so it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I definitely feel better.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Barbara.
Good to see you.
We keep
All
showing
right.
up in the cool circle.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned for more to come.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks for
so
being
much.
here today.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Peace to you all.
Jan,
Love you.
Love you. Much love.
have fun with the otter.
Okay. I may call you.